Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome back to another Fortnite video. If you are new around here, then thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to click that like down below and hit that subscribe before you go. And if you turn on the notification bell, then you'll always get updated of all my new content when it comes out. If you do buy anything from the item shop, either in Battle Royale or Save the World, then please consider using my creator code in the item shop, as it will help me out a great deal. But let's get right into today's video. Okay then, so today's video is based on my schematics and my weapons. I did get asked in the comments the other day from one of my subscribers asking if they could see my schematics and what weapons I use. So today's video is all about my weapons. Now if I go into my sword, I'll go into my swords first. Now I do have quite a lot of swords in here, but there's only two main ones that I use. The main one is the Krypton sword, which is an absolutely brilliant sword. Does pretty good damage for everything. But the other one that I use is the Sir Lancelot spear. Now if you do have the Sir Lancelot spear, it is a brilliant weapon. You do need to have a good hero loadout to go with it, and if I just briefly come into my loadouts and go over to my ninja loadout. Okay, now I use Deadly Blade Crash, and she's got some good team support perks in here as well. And I've been into quite a few of my Twine Peaks missions with this Deadly Blade Crash and the Sir Lancelot spear, and it does absolutely brilliant damage. And also it does help as well that with the loadout I've got, the ninja doesn't take a vast amount of damage. You can be slap bang in the middle of a pile of husks and hardly any health goes down with her, so it's a fantastic weapon to use. So they are my swords. Now I do also then have a few weapons that I use. I got a few favorites, but also a few other ones that I do use from time to time as well. So we'll start at the top. Now I've got my Candy Corn LMG, which is pretty decent damage on that one. And I've got my Easter egg launcher, which I leveled up recently for the Easter event. I did do a video on the Easter egg launcher, so you can check that out if you want more info on that one. I have my Grave Digger, which is my fire element weapon. That's a pretty good weapon as well. My helium shotgun is pretty much the only shotgun that I use. It's almost all gold rolls, so it's quite high up on its DPS, but still got a little way to go to complete that one off. My next one then is my Hemlock, which is my nature element weapon. That's a very good weapon as well. Next one along then is my Neon Sniper Rifle. Now I did do a video recently on all of the various different sniper rifles, because we got the Neon, we got the Yeoman and the Obliterator and the Old Betsy. I did do a video on that, so you can check that out in the playlists as well. But the Neon Sniper Rifle I use mainly for my defenders. Box them all into one by one so they can't get out, and they can shoot those husks through the wall and help you out in the missions without getting killed. So the Neon Sniper is definitely worth having, even though it doesn't have a massive damage to it. The Obliterator, now that's a much better weapon for a sniper. That one definitely will do some good damage on on the husks and the smashers. The next one across then is the old Betsy. I can't decide between the old Betsy, the Obliterator, and the Yeomans which one I prefer, but I think it's going to be the Yeomans because it's got so much more damage to it. But we get to that in a minute. So that's the old Betsy. Next one along then is my first, it's the second weapon that I've completely gold rolled. Is the Santa's Little Helper, which does amazing damage to it. Can knock back piles of husks with no problem at all. Now the first ever weapon that I did put to gold roll is my Siege Breaker. Now this did start out, I believe, as the original grey uncommon rifle when I first started out the game, and I upgraded and evolved it and increased the rarity of it all the way through, all the way up to a 106 gold roll. So that is one of my favourite weapons. Probably my most favourite weapon in the entire game though is the Super Shredder, which I still haven't managed to get gold rolls on that yet, but I will be working on that one next. That is my favourite gun of all. The next one that I have now is the typewriter. Now this is my water element weapon that I use. I wouldn't advise giving this to any of your defenders because they will literally blast through your ammo in no time at all, because it does have a very high magazine size, so you can shoot through your ammo in no time. So don't give it to your defenders, but it is brilliant for piles of husks. Now the next one that I've got here is the Wraith, which I only recently, I think it was last week, upgraded this and did a video review on the Wraith. This I think may well take over from my Siege Breaker, because even on its blue rolls it's still got more damage per second than my Siege Breaker has. So this could be my new favourite weapon. And of course the last one here then is the Yeoman, another sniper rifle, which brilliant impact and damage on that. It's an awesome sniper to use. The last one I have here, which has been leveled up fully, is the Founders Revolt. Now I got this when I purchased the Founders Pack on Save the World, way back at the beginning when I started playing. The Founders Revolt, you cannot upgrade it past Epic, and you can't get it any higher than a level 93. For some strange reason, they don't allow you put it into a Legendary or a 106. But the Founders Revolt is my go-to pistol if I need it. Now I do have a lot of other weapons here as well, quite a lot that I haven't really used or tried very much. I did have the Jackal launcher I started leveling up, and I also at one point did have a 106 bazooka, but when the Santa's Little Helper came out at Christmas, I recycled my bazooka so I could get all the mats in order to upgrade the Santa's Helper instead. But if you do have a bazooka, they are brilliant weapons. I do want to try out the Noble launcher at some point, because they apparently are extremely good explosive weapons as well, but I just haven't got around to it, that's all. And I got quite a lot of other weapons in here which have just been sort of kept because I don't want to get rid of them, I don't want to recycle them. I will use them at some point, but just never got around to it. And the last thing we got then are my traps. Now the broadside trap is my only 106 trap that I have at the moment. All my other traps are still on level 82s. and they seem to be working pretty well even in low-end twine peaks, so I just haven't bothered upgrading them to 106s. But the broadside trap is a brilliant trap. If you do have like a 1x1 trap tunnel with say 3-4 tiles long, then put one of these at either side. You see the cannibals bouncing back and forth, and those husks won't stand much of a chance. The next one is my famous gas trap. One of the best traps in the game, I believe, in my opinion anyway. I wouldn't be anywhere without the ceiling gas trap. Definitely one to have. The flame grill floor trap is another good one, which I do use from time to time as well. That one is a fire element trap. I don't believe you can change the perk on it. It will always be a fire one, but a very good trap to use. Of course, we've got the floor launcher, which I use quite often. And we've got our retractable floor spikes as well, which are my go-to floor traps. And my wall darts then are the main ones I use on the walls if I'm not using my wall launchers. Another brilliant trap to use. And the wooden floor spikes, I do use those at the entrances to trap tunnels, because it will slow the husks down as they come into the tunnel, and of course make them take more damage as they come in. I do have a floor freeze trap, but to be honest I don't really like those and I don't use them very often. That's why it's never got upgraded any further. I never have used the healing pad. I've never really needed to, but I've got it there just in case. And I don't really use the cozy campfire at all. And the patrol ward is just literally in here so that I've got that schematic, because in my opinion the patrol ward is one of the most useless traps that you can have. I mean, it's not even a trap. You place them down by spawn points, and it's supposed to reduce the amount of husks that come past, but they only will work on the spawn points. You know, if you're going through the map and you've got husks that are going from one point to another, you can place these down at those spawn points and it will stop them from spawning, but you can't use them as normal missions. When you get all your husks spawning from one area, you can't use them there. They don't work. They don't do anything there, so useless in my opinion. You do have the wall dynamo, not really used that much at all either, and the wall lights I haven't really used them, and the wall spikes again, I don't like them either. So I don't use any of those bottom ones. These are all my favorite traps, and probably I'd say the ceiling gas trap is the best trap to use. Wherever you are, it's easy enough to put a load of ceiling pieces in, load of these up, and catch them as they're going along. So that is all my weapons and my traps. I hope you enjoy this. If you did, then please drop a like down below and hit that subscribe before you go. But I hope you enjoyed, and hope if you do have any other weapons that you use that you think are really great and worthwhile me trying out, then by all means let me know in the comments and I will try and give them a try. But I hope you enjoyed, and until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe.